This is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Salem. And tonight's question comes to us from Draconum Blade. And Draconum Blade asks if there is an alternative to using incense in ritual because family members have expressed a fear that ritual incense might be a fire hazard. And the first thing I would say is that whether or not ritual incense could be any sort of serious fire hazard, I think depends largely on what kind of ritual incense you're using. Most people, if they're doing ritual, are most likely to use either stick or cone incense because it's most easily available. And I don't think either one of these constitute any sort of real fire hazard if you're at all careful. However, if you're using powdered incense with charcoal, I could see a little bit more their point, particularly if one has a tendency to accidents. Because the hot charcoal really could be a fire hazard if you're not careful. However, it's a very rare occurrence that anything should happen, and I personally don't think it's much of a consideration. However, since in Draconum Blade's circumstances it is a consideration, let me speak to a little bit of the other possibilities one could do. Of course, the first and most obvious is one could simply not use incense, because after all, it's not like you can't do anything without it. However, if you want to have the element of air represented, you want to have scent to stimulate your senses, there are a number of ways you can do it other than incense. The most obvious is essential oil, which can be used for anointing and can involve the element of scent and therefore the element of air. Also, sprays such as this lovely orange spray from Cheryl's Herbs in St. Louis, and you simply spray it and it does very much the same thing that incense does. In theory, one could use a commercial air freshener in exactly the same way. There are also fresh herbs. If you have a bundle of fresh herbs that you use in your ritual in the same way that you might use incense, you'll find that the fragrance can be really quite wonderful, assuming that it's a suitably fragrant herb. Another possibility is to use a symbol, such as a feather, or any other symbol of air to represent the air if you have problem with all scent. I think that rather than a fire hazard, the most common reason that people don't use incense in ritual is because they're sensitive to it through allergy or asthma. And this is a much more commonly encountered problem, and these various different things can be used in that instance. Or again, you can simply use nothing at all and honor air verbally. So those are my thoughts on that subject, and until next time, may your blessed be. But wait, don't forget our books, Witch School 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Degree, and also Living the Wiccan Life, and Ritual in Theory and Practice, available at a bookstore near you, or get them direct from us at www.witchschoolstore.com.